This is the Orca Boats channel and my name is Rod. We are working on Scout, and in this episode we're going to get the final bit of detail on the top sides, which is the breasthook, or what people call a small deck in the very bow of the boat. So let's get to it. It's now time to look at making a deck for Scout. So what I've got here is a solid block of mahogany. What is it, 6'4", 1.5 inches? Yeah. And got one edge smooth here. I'm going to clean up both of these edges on the table saw, and then I'm going to draw a line diagonal to diagonal to make sort of a book matched breasthook. Always the trickiest part is figuring out how to clamp these odd pieces together. So I'm going to lay it down on some wax paper so they're not going to stick to my bench. Got one hold fast to hold the one side. And then we should be able to clamp them together without them moving around too much. Or we can just, those ones are sliding off, so we'll go back to using the sandpaper wedges. Just bring them down a bit further here and see if the, come on. And there you have it. Some massively good squeeze out there. Somehow I seriously miscalculated with the cross here. I mean, the deck is supposed to go back to here. We're looking at 13 inches, and that only ended up at 10.5. What to do, what to do? Suppose what we could do is cut this back down the center line and put a nice piece of accent, something inside there, maybe say, I don't know, yellow cedar or cherry or something. Well, with the knowledge that I need the deck wider and longer, we're going to make a little bit of a artistic piece out of it. Determined, do we have the bevel? I put a straight edge across here. What is the bevel to the inside edge of the gunnels? It's a bit of a rough cut, but we're pretty close, and I think our angles are good. So I believe we just need to plane these down. cut, sanded the edges here. Final fitting with epoxy fillers in there. I think we are going to be just fine. But I'm going to now round over at least the bottom edge of this. I can do the top edge of this when it's glued in. I'm going to just run the router through. And I suppose while I am gluing in the Breasthook, I could probably glue in the mast step. Just need to determine where. Really going into the, I wonder if it's because of the fillet in there. To come back a bit. Okay, that goes in there now. Pretty cleanly. Not too much of a gap. Now, so there's no marking on the bottom panel here as to exactly where that is to go, but I'm assuming it's supposed to be straight up and down. So, yeah, no. Just my wild guess. So reaching inside, I've got the underside of the Breasthook flush with the underside of the in-wales. It's a little proud on the top, which is fine. We're going to shave it all down, and we're just going to leave well enough around alone. I completely forgot, even though I mentioned it in my own video, to round off the bottom edge of this before installation. I can do the top easy enough, but got carried away with putting the mast step in and this in with epoxy. Completely forgot. So I'll have to sort out softening the edge on the underside of the Breasthook later. With the Breasthook in, all that's left to do, I think, on the top sides of the whole boat here is to route a few corners, sand everything down, cut off the mast tube, and do a bit of sealing around there, maybe a bit of filleting around the bottom. And I think then we're going to put a couple of coats of epoxy on all the bare wood. And then it's time to roll it over and finish the exterior, which is glassing the hull, putting the skeg on. I'm going to add a stem on the end. And then we can move on to rigging up for sail. And with the Breasthook fully installed and sanded down and cleaned up, the boat is now rolled over, so we can work on fiberglassing the hull and installing the skeg. That's going to be in the next couple of episodes, so thank you very much for watching. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, please do give me a thumbs up. Maybe consider becoming a subscriber, and we'll see you next time.